Hey everybody, are we recording?
Right
Someone out
now.
there, someone answer out in the world.
Yes,
Um,
we are recording
We
right
are
now.
live.
Yes.
okay.
Hello, everyone who might be out there, and welcome to a very short, very sweet episode of Mistresses of Mayhem, the only all-girl, female, woman, child.
We are
We
not
are
an
the-
all-child.
We're not all children here. I promise.
Wow, way to
Mm.
dehumanize women and make them into children. You're infantilizing us as women, and
We are.
our feminist statement on Halloween Horror Nights is ruined now.
I know.
Because what is more feminist than an event that loves making women naked and victims?
I mean,
We try, you guys.
yeah, we
Oh,
try really
man.
hard.
Yeah,
I fucked up right up tonight.
I mean-
Wow.
as though we all try. I never claimed to try.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm here.
So yeah, welcome everyone to this hodgepodge flea market of an episode.
All
real
of
talk.
All of the least popular members are here.
Whoa,
Oh, man.
Connie, objectively the one with the least followers of all of us.
I wasn't actually objecting because of myself. I was like, y'all are pretty popular.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
you were offended.
I don't know.
Not for me.
Before we start comparing follower counts, we are here to discuss the recent announcement of Trick or Treat as a full-fledged house. It's not a dream, just for real, again!
Amazing.
You thought I wasn't.
Someone play the violin in celebration. Flute,
I...
I'm sorry.
It's downstairs.
Yes.
My violin is downstairs. So we just wanted to run through a couple of quick hype things for this house. I think most of us are pretty hyped that it's coming back, but also, we have some trepidations because this Arizona is so great. So let's get into it. So we're getting Full House. Someone mentioned that it's going to be in the parade building this year.
Yes, it is.
I thought you said we're getting a trick or treat house, not a full house.
Oh my
god.
I'm sorry.
Setting.
I'll leave now. I'll excuse myself.
No, don't. There will only be two of us.
Then it'll not only be the least popular ones, but the least funny ones.
No. Oh man,
you
didn't drag me like that.
I was mostly going to drag myself, and I realized as I was doing it that you were coming with me. So
that's okay. That's okay. My last week of my life has just been me getting dragged at work. So
drag her, honey.
Yes.
Okay. So trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet. Throw it.
That was hilarious. I can't believe y'all ain't laughing harder at that. So anyways,
I'm just trying to maintain my professional.
Also, in case, you guys don't know, Dumpster Mike and Principal Wilkins are one and the same. And so I messaged him the screenshot of it being in the parade building again. And I said, how does this make you feel? And he said, heavily triggered. Everything I've ever done at HHN is happening in 1 year at the same time, which is Halloween and Trick or Treat and in the parade building. So
that's wild.
Poor guy. He feels exactly the way I felt the past 2 years doing the same thing.
There you go.
So overjoyed?
Yeah, probably. He's pretty excited. I think they're all everyone in Trick or Treat is like, hell yeah, I get my job back.
This is going to be the year of shorts for actors.
Oh, God, yes. Because now we have 5 million Sams. We got all them 11s and the Wills. And, I'm sure there'll be a scare zone with little people in it, too.
Because we're probably going to be... Sam will definitely be in Alters if it comes back.
What if, instead of hiring short actors, they just dig them trenches to walk in? So they're below
That's such
level.
a good idea. And then when guests fall in the trenches, we can laugh at them.
I was about to say, isn't that just what they did in Lord of the Rings with all the hobbits?
Yeah.
That's also what they do with anything with RDJ in it. He's
true. He's so small.
As
a 5'4" person, so relatable. Hey, Horror Nights, if I'm not at school, which I will be, let me play Sam. So I didn't get a chance to... I haven't watched this movie since Halloween because I only watch it at Halloween, as you should. And so I don't have it fresh in my mind or anything, and I didn't get to ask this question prior to our recording, so if your answers take a little longer, that's fine too. But since we're getting the house, for this movie. What scenes do you want to see in this house that we couldn't do in the streets?
Well, since you asked.
Glad
Go
Melody is
off.
prepared.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I saw it quite a lot of times last Halloween season, and it's just kind of drilled into my brain. Very specifically, I think the number one thing that we were missing from the street was Rhonda, character of Rhonda,
Yeah.
the girl,
Yes!
the witch girl. I definitely okay. So here's how I think the house is gonna play out. I think it is going to flow exactly like the movie. I think they're gonna pull visuals from each segment from the anthology and then wrap it all up in Mr. Krieg's house with lots of violent Sam action.
I'm ready for that.
I think we're gonna get multiple outdoor house facades. I think we're gonna get Principal Wilkins' house and Mr. Krieg's house.
Good deal.
I think our opening facade, as stupid as this sounds, it could very possibly be a big pumpkin. Isn't that what it is in the opening of the movie? Or no, is it just the title? What is it in the title?
They have a comic book opening.
Lollipop?
They could pull out the Ultraviolence comics and do that because that's what.
Yo, it's a comic book. Oh my god, the opening of it is a freaking comic book. I forgot about that.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
They could pull that kind of Easter egg for hardcore fans out for trick or treat for sure.
I would come.
Me too,
I
right?
think-
Like, I mean,
So
isn't everyone?
Connie, the first house you ever went through at HHN was an Ultraviolet comic.
That's true. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. It was Asylum Wonderland.
The what?
The first house we ever did together was Asylum in Wonderland.
Oh,
at
Asylum,
HHN
and
5.
yes.
And
Yeah, we
then
did
remember
do
the
that.
cover, you went in through the comic book cover and it was an Ultraviolet comic. That was the last time that comic book series popped up at HHN.
Oh, yeah. That was a long
Oh,
time
yeah, it did.
ago.
That does feel like a long
That
time
was
ago.
like
feel like
2
a long
or
time ago.
3 years.
But I'm looking. Okay, so another thing I'm looking forward to in the house is less cute, more gore, more scary. Make it scary. I know the movie isn't super scary, and I have a feeling this will be the quote-unquote Ash versus Evil Dead of the year, as in it's not going to be as scary as a lot of the other houses. But then again, people keep saying that's what Stranger Things is going to be, so who really knows at this point?
Well, I see Stranger Things being more equivalent to like American Horror Story, where you're living like those iconic moments where it's not like super scary, but you're living something like.
Yeah, but the HHS 27 AHS was like right up behind Scarecrow as the scariest of the year. So
True. You got me there.
I mean, maybe I'm misinterpreting that, but I had a lot of people say the 27 one was really scary for them. So,
do you think that they're gonna have the quarry? Do you think we'll have to go through some water?
Yes, we're actually gonna have to wade through water. We're gonna have to swim in the haunted house.
I will bring my bathing trunks.
I think there's a possibility that they could pull out the visual gag of like they had in 25 years and like they've had in previous houses.
The mirror floor ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Like they had in what was that house? Ghost Town. For depth, there's a possibility they could do something like that where it looks like you're on the edge of a cliff. I think
that good depth.
I don't know if they would actually do this, but I would love a scene where you physically walk through the school bus and you don't know which of
say that.
Yes, where you don't know which of the kids are alive and which ones are fake, like that scene in Insidious from 25, where like some of them will pop up. That would be
so cool.
I think that'd be great, and they already have a school bus from AHS 26.
They already have a school bus from every single AHS.
Yeah, but those are outside. Oh, outside. This is the inside school bus.
I was about to say they could just do like they did with Christie's kind of bus van thing, and I feel that to me would be, and I can see them doing something with like the windows, so it feels like you're about to like you're moving or something. That'd be really interesting.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
I think would throw up.
I would too. It'd be really nauseous, but
I get motion sick. I would die.
Like, yeah. I think the movie is extremely visually pleasing. It's very there's a lot of lights to it. I mean, the street showed that very clearly, but you have so much more control in a house when it comes to lighting and sound and consistency in the appearance.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a water scare with Puking Charlie. I think he's going to show up again because that was very iconic.
Yeah, people were really, really digging that gag. So
I pretty much think every costume from last year will be back, basically. It would make almost no sense for them to not just do that. They already have everything.
Though, they don't make sense sometimes, so maybe they won't.
They don't, but
just to the contrary.
I have a feeling that this was in the works before last year, and that's maybe why the street was so good last year, was that it was such a... Because even Mike Aiello has said in tweets, he said, like, last year was a straight-up dress rehearsal for this year.
I
Okay.
actually do want to bring this up really fast. This is kind of my digging deep for this episode. Michael actually tweeted that there was a whole treatment written and ready to go for Halloween Horror Nights 22 for Trick or Treat,
Yeah.
which would have been interesting because I feel like that could have tied in with the Legions because it's a lot like the Morphin Legion.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think it would have fit thematically extremely well in 22, but I'm glad we're getting it at all. And I also feel
True.
like as the years have passed, standards for casting have just progressively gotten stricter, as in they're finding shorter people, they're finding more screen accurate people every year. So maybe it's better that they waited. Maybe they have more resources now than they would have even just 6 years ago.
That's true. I mean,
Here's
obviously
hoping.
the event is always just moving upwards in terms of quality and, you know, like you said, casting even more similar looking people and stuff like that. So maybe, yeah, that's true. But it would have been interesting to see what that 22 house would have been like.
Yeah.
How much of it ends up happening this year?
I'm sorry, what was that? Can you repeat that?
And what from that treatment might end up in this year, obviously we'll never know. But
That's a good question. I would
it's
say
cool to,
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Probably the
Uh-oh.
majority of anything they planned before will come back because I don't know. I mean, there's only so many things you can do in a haunted house based on one movie. So
Right. And I was thinking, like, obviously, like, the street was great and honestly was way better than I thought it was going to be. Because I was like, oh, Trick or Treat should be a house.
yeah,
So, like, for the street, all I could think of was, like, are they just going to do, like, the parade? Like, I don't know. But they managed to do something really kind of different and really cool with it. And it worked really well in Central Park. And obviously, you didn't get as many of those like recreations of those iconic scenes in the way that you are living in it instead of it's
Yeah.
just happening around you.
like I'm really excited to see. I'm sure one of the finale scenes will be, like the fight between Sam and Mr. Krieg, and I think
Yes.
it'll be really entertaining. I hope that they pull some Leatherface stuff and have some really good character to character interaction
Ooh.
going on in there. Trying to think of other things.
I'm
that I
hoping-
could-
Mr. Krieg fight is
I'm
just one of
hoping. I'm hoping that there's a scene where we're offered candy, and if the person walking through the house, if we the audience takes the candy, we're safe. But if we don't, we get actually murdered by Sam.
It's a choose your own adventure with actual murder.
like I feel like I don't remember where I talked about this the first time, but the Upcharge experience this year is when you break the actual rules of HHN, Sam escorts you to the drunk tank very politely and then
Yes!
you.
I love it. That would be so fun.
Yeah, Sam is the security this year because you can't break the rules, you guys.
My God, you're right.
I think that's great, but I also have a feeling people are going to try to bowl over that security.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel about going to the exit of my house to ask Sam to get someone out of the park for me. That would make me a little bit uncomfortable. I would be like, that one, and then he would like waddle over and tap them on the shoulder with his lollipop. I don't think
And
it
then
would
eviscerate them?
No. He would, like, he's a pretty dangerous little guy, but
he is, but he seems so cordial sometimes.
Right. Correct.
So,
I mean, if he just went
yeah.
up and stabbed whoever I pointed at, that'd be fucking awesome. But there's there's paperwork.
There is
I
paperwork.
guess. Does he have to do paperwork though? Like
He
could
right.
just disappear.
I feel like as a spiritual being representing the soul of Halloween, no. But also because of that exact same reason, maybe yes.
I mean,
Conflicting opinions going on here about the literacy of Sam.
Yeah.
We get deep. Let's see, what am I looking forward to in this house? The fight scene is absolutely one of my favorite parts of the movie because at that point we mostly see Sam as sort of the childlike, kind of fun, cute.
Yeah.
And then we see him actually like manhandle this older man, and it's kind of amazing.
Murder.
So
that's great.
yeah. So I'm really excited to see that. And like you said, I really hope they get some great actor interaction going on.
Another thing that we didn't see in the street that I would like to see in the house is a fully unmasked Sam, not just half of his face.
Right.
I would like to see a full pumpkin face Sam.
I would like to see actual pumpkins that I can eat. I think they're delicious, and I'm hungry.
This is gonna be the year of just us eating in all of the houses. I'm taking waffles into Stranger Things, and we gotta be eating some candy and some pumpkin seeds and trick or treat.
And
Yeah.
then in the patient 0, we can just eat brains.
Yes.
Oh, it's thematically consistent. Okay, so that's the theme this year. It's not 80s, it's eating.
Eating. It sounds similar. 80s
Hey, and
eating.
there's
It's understandably.
that the code name for one of those houses is snacks, you guys.
Oh my
my
god, it's the
God.
eating year.
It's the year of snacks.
This is
Snacks.
every stoner's dream for HHN.
Yes, let them in.
Let us in.
Okay, that was pretty good. What else? Well, I'd love to see more with like the werewolves because obviously we had the girls in the streets, but they weren't like wolfing out. You know, they were just kind of in there
They
in their
were like
garb.
mildly sexy.
Yeah, which was like
I need full fur. I need them to actually rip like the spine thing where they rip the spine out in all of the different houses that's happened in. But instead of spine, they're just ripping their own flesh off and it's just hairy beneath.
Oh,
Please.
yes,
Queen.
that would be great. I would love to see that scene as well because that's one of the that's one of the stories is that that's like a big part of it.
And that's
And
exactly what I think. I think the house is going to be relatively evenly split between the stories.
I can see it happening like
Because
that.
there's easy house material for all of them. Like I can't stress enough how so many people they mention all these movies. Oh, this should be a house. This should be a house. And most of the time, their opinions are terrible, and those things should never be haunted houses.
Hashtag
Trick or Treat, on the other hand, is perfect. It was like the guy who wrote it had this in mind.
Yeah, well, and you could say the same with Krampus.
Exactly.
Okay.
Obviously, people had mixed reactions to that, so I'm curious to see how we get a Michael Dougherty that like goes hard
I think
on House.
I think the Hollywood Krampus was much better than ours. Krampus had so much potential. It was also tailor-made for a house.
Yes.
I also think those who are working on this care a lot more about Trick or Treat than they did about Krampus because I am of the opinion that Krampus was a stepping stone to get to Trick or Treat. Not
yes.
they necessarily wanted to do, but something that they needed to do to prove their salt to be able to do, the almighty Trick or Treat.
Yeah. It's definitely like I love Krampus. I like really genuinely enjoy the movie. It's a big part of my Christmas traditions, but like Trick or Treat is like heart and soul of Halloween, just straight up perfect.
It is Halloween porn.
Absolutely.
How I want to know. I would like you guys to weigh in on this question. How accurate to the movie do you think the house is going to be? Because I know in one of the beginning scenes, we do watch a man watch porn.
I expect the same porno to be on the TV. I expect high accuracy in this.
I actually was just about to say, when we were talking about facades and stuff, I can see you going in through that house at the beginning and having the lady like with the lollipop in her mouth out there.
I think that'll be just like how right outside Fallen there was that corpse that was stuck on the spikes. I think it'll be kind of like that with her stuck up there, or on the inverse, the first room of the house being a whole bunch of those ghosts or those like things on sticks, and she's real and you don't know which one it is or whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
she's real.
You
Do you
know,
think it's gonna be an actress? Does someone get to lick a lollipop for 45 minutes?
It would probably be a mask.
Okay.
That would go on the lower half of the face.
But I want to eat a lollipop.
Well, you can do
big.
that, Connie, as a guest.
How many Sam lollipops are they gonna sell this year, you
Holy
guys?
shit!
Do you
I was
think
about
they'll
to say,
sell them? That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
exciting!
What a waste it would be to not.
I want one.
I want one too, which is exactly why they should sell it. Ooh, do you think the exact same Sam is going to be in the tribute stores last year? Because I do.
I mean,
yeah, probably.
guys, they were already merchandising Sam at like the Carnival Games in Springfield, like 2 years ago. They were already selling or you could win them, the little Sam like plushies. Yeah.
But seriously, can we really hammer in to whatever Halloween Horror Nights production assistant is paid or intern is paid to listen to this podcast and all other podcasts? We want Sam lollipops. We want them now, or at least in September.
We want Sam lollipops. We want actual Sams.
We want porn.
We want Trick or Treat porn.
Sam seductively takes off his mask to reveal the jacked 26-year-old.
Harry werewolf lesbians orgy number 3.
Number 3.
It's the third.
I need to actually be thrown into a quarry, or else it's inauthentic, and
But really, you're looking for an experience like Blackout, honestly. What you're looking for is like one of those extreme. You're looking for McCamey Manor. You're not looking for HHN anymore. You're looking for actual violence and pain.
I want you. If I don't walk out of this house dead, then what was the point?
I don't walk out of this house.
If I am not rolled out on a gurney, why did I show up?
Why did I even show up?
What
Excuse
the fuck
me.
was my $50 for? I wanted to die. Listen, I get people who tell me that at the escape room all the time. They're like, I paid $30. I hope, because I tell people, they're like, what happens if I don't win? And I'm like, you die. And we sell your organs on the Chinese black market. And I had this one Asian guy the other day. He was like, oh my God, for only $30, you'll kill me? This is amazing. It was so
amazing.
funny. That's exactly how I feel about HHN. For one low fee, you'll murder me.
Oh, perfect.
I love it when
Go.
I love it when people say shit like that. Like, I just started working at like a very expensive brewery, and like our pretzels or whatever are like $20. You get like all this stuff with it. And everyone was like, for $20, I better die, or like something like that. I was like, I just started here. I can't guarantee I won't murder you.
I can't guarantee that I will murder you. I'm still learning the ropes. Maybe next time, come back in a couple months.
We'll get to the murder. Darcy is not here to say what her mom refers to Sam as, but the Itty Bitty Murder Committee.
Oh my gosh!
The Itty Bitty Murder Committee. Shout out to Heather. That's cute.
That's so cute.
True. All those poor Sams. Listen, I am neither going to confirm nor deny that I have worn a Sam mask at one point. That's up to those who know the answer to determine. But if theoretically I have worn a Sam mask, you cannot see.
Wow.
I mean,
you're blind. The only place to see is through the mesh on the mouth. And if your eyes are not super low on your head, you're fucked. They're like, oh, you need to see people to scare? Sorry. Why do you think all the Sams are always around the edge? They literally couldn't see. They needed the fence to like stay like oriented with.
That makes a lot of sense.
They were always
theoretically you were to have that information.
They were always off to the side because they were like, we literally can't see anything. We have to touch the fence and like other characters to know where we are in space.
That's wild.
That also explains why they always held people's hands to go places.
Yes, they literally could not see. Again, neither confirming nor denying that I have worn Sam's head. But if I had, I would also have had to have been walked around by the naked shower lady from The Shining to be able to greet people.
Oh man.
Oh, those words you use. So damning.
The words
so damning.
I'm also curious, so another thing, the reverse of what we've been talking about, how they're going to translate a lot of like the outdoor elements into this indoor house.
Since it's in the parade building and they have control over the lighting, they've killed it before with outdoor scenes.
Yeah, it could be very Halloween too. It could be very I mean, they did amazing in Ash vs. Evil Dead with the whole cabin shtick. Like,
yeah,
that was
and then,
great.
Like AHS 26, the big opening area freak show with the caravans. I mean, there was nothing above your head except string lights, but it was just well lit with the lightning and with, you know, the ceiling was dark enough that it was not distracting, that it was not, you know, I mean, the thing is they very rarely theme the ceilings at HHN and they get away with it pretty well because the walls are so high.
Oh my god.
Unless you look up specifically, which is actually really fun. If you just stand in one spot in a Horror Nights house and you look up, you can like figure out where every fog machine is because you can see it wafting towards the ceiling. You can figure out where like where lightning is and stuff because that strobe will reflect up onto the ceiling too. So like it's kind of trippy to look up and just see like the whole house reflected on the ceiling up above your head.
That's cool.
Hey, pro tip to everyone listening in: next time you go to HHN, just stare upwards. That won't mess up anything.
The characters love it. They love when you just look straight up the whole time.
So,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go for it. What I was going to say was pointless.
So if we are getting another Altars Horror type scare zone, and honestly, signs are pointing towards it, it seems like a pretty, I don't want to say popular to us, but it was popular to other people.
I mean, I think it's going to be something that they're going to keep coming back with because it is a lazy and simple premise that is applicable to every year that they do IPs, and it gets a job done. It gives a photo op scare zone to characters people want pictures with in the houses. But I do not think Sam will be in it.
I was about to ask who you would put from Trick or Treat in Altars of Horror. Because like we said, Sam, pretty immobile.
I bet it's going to be sexy werewolves.
if I could choose, I would put Sam and Principal Wilkins both in there.
Yeah.
I'm not the one choosing. I think more than likely it'll be a sexy werewolf and maybe
Cersei.
vampire Principal Wilkins.
I was thinking
Maybe
Krieg's
so, yeah.
really recognizable.
Or maybe Sam. I don't know. I mean, Sam was in the street last year, but like you said, he wasn't
It
super
would just be-
mobile. It was a rough.
Yes.
It was a rough costume to wear out there. I mean, there's a lot of them that are, but
What if it's just Mr. Krieg and then he opens up, he like flashes us with his robe, his bathrobe, and it's Sam under there.
Oh my
And he just
god!
hides
There's Sam with another Sam on his shoulders, and they're both like Mr. Krieg together.
Yes. I was about to say, I
please.
feel like the two characters that had possibly some of the best interactions last year were Wilkins and Krieg. So I was thinking maybe
on the cast, yes.
Yes. So I was thinking maybe that would work. I could see them putting the sexy werewolf girls out there. I'm not sure. Like, you want them to be like recognizable as something from Trick or Treat, and a lot of like, it feels like a lot of the man with the top hat.
Yeah.
I just thought about it while I was speaking. Something like that would be pretty good. I don't know. It's hard for me to it's hard for even me to think about like what Stranger Things is gonna do. So
yeah, same. I don't think they'd put an 11 out in the street if they have 11 at all.
Wait. I just thought of an amazing thing that is gonna happen.
It's gonna be really stupid and implausible.
Ready. I'm ready.
Stop knowing me so well. Okay. You know how like last year
I wish I could.
You know the twins last year in Ultras of Horror? How they would just like skip everywhere together?
Yeah.
Well, what if it was an 11 and Sam holding hands?
Oh,
I'm dying.
That's so cute.
I mean, you're right, implausible.
That's way more plausible than what I thought you were going to say something way more stupid. So that's good. If 11 and Sam end up in the street together, that photo will be very illegal, but I guarantee you it's going to exist.
I want it to happen so bad. I want it. I want it.
She wants it.
I want it.
Give it to her.
Give it. Hey, intern.
Amazing.
Hey, intern, listening to us from creative at Universal. I know you're there. We know you're listening.
Get on this shit. Like Yellow, and he was like, "I'm so upset you keep calling me an intern."
He's like, "Come on, guys, respect where respect's due." No, Michaela is going to. I think he said he's going to MegaCon. Isn't that tomorrow? Yeah. He's probably busy.
Is it?
I like to imagine that Michaela goes to MegaCon in like a mech suit.
He's in the Pandora mech suit.
Oh my God.
He said he's on stilts. Walking through MegaCon in the mech suit, and he has a child in each of his giant mech hands. Summer is riding on his back. This is so weird.
I love it.
This is our.
We need to stop.
I'm so sorry, ILOs, if you're listening. Please, we're not weird like Scare Zone. We're not obsessed. I mean, we are obsessed with you, but it's different.
Hey, interns, don't let him hear this.
Interns, got our back, right?
You're totally listening.
Interns,
we're friends, right?
We can send you a button that says "Not a dream, just for real" if you keep your mouth fucking shut.
I don't think we can. I'm not giving mine up.
I mean, I'm not giving mine up either.
I don't have one yet. So.
By the way, in case there's anyone here who is not aware of where that came from, we need to. Have we explained that? Not a dream, just for real.
Can we sound like assholes?
That's
okay.
That's like our number one quote. We are quoting it from a crazy man on Twitter.
I will explain this as I can. I will. Okay, I won't name him.
Yeah, I don't think we should name him.
We should.
So there's this person on Twitter. He's
or she.
Hey,
it's a he. We're gonna stick with he. He is passionate.
Okay.
They are
he
very
passionately
no.
For a
no.
What?
That's fucking crazy.
he very passionately preached for a trick-or-treat street like for the past years. Last year, yeah, for a while. And then he turned out to be correct. But leading up to him finding out he was correct, he was like, "We're gonna get a trick-or-treat street. This is not a dream, just for real."
Just for real.
It was the funniest thing.
Exact phrasing.
It was the funniest thing I'd ever fucking heard, and it's still the funniest thing I can think of. This man is also a very talented.
Sorry for my coughing fit. It just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Yes. So every time we say not a dream, just for real, it's usually in reference to Trick or Treat. I think that's how I announced it last year on the show.
It's branched out a little bit since then.
Oh yeah, I think it's just sort of our catchphrase.
I
thought our catchphrase was "we're professionals."
Oh, it's all good. You know, all variants of lies are us.
What's that other thing we say about things being like relatable or something? Probably not, because maybe
I do say that a lot.
Relevant.
We say relevant. #relevant. Right.
Hashtag we're doing this. And also jokes about Shape of Water.
Oh yeah. True. Wait.
Now we should stop bringing down our memes on our own show, because that feels meta and wrong.
True. Honestly, I don't know if I ever actually tweeted out the bingo card I made for people to listen to us with, but I definitely made them.
Oh yeah, please tweet bingo.
That. I'm gonna tweet that after this episode. I can't do more than one thing on this laptop because it doesn't love me. But yes.
Do we have any other HHN business to talk about though? I think it's really just that. I'm happy we know where it is because we haven't gotten any confirmation on where Stranger Things is, correct? Or we just
I heard it was Soundstage 22.
22 or 21? 21 is where Exorcist / whatever that fucking other thing was. Shining was.
I think it's 22.
22?
I didn't fact check this previous to this episode. I want to say around the forums and stuff I've seen 22.
Is 22 Water Boys?
Yes. 22 was Water Boys and Angel Boys.
And Angel Boys?
Yeah.
Ooh, my 2 favorite boys.
Those are some good boys.
Water voodoo creatures and literal demons.
Water boys. Yes, I want to say Stranger Things is 22, and then Exposure.
Wait, I thought Dead Exposure was 22. Because I thought we were like, oh, Dead Exposure, it's going in the other building where they did originals last year.
Oh, that would make sense.
I could be wrong, you guys.
I don't think we've heard about Stranger Things, because my assumption is that Stranger Things is occupying the Exorcist Shining space. If AHS Cult happens, I don't think it's going to be in either of the previous AHS sound stages, which were Soundstage 19 and Soundstage 20, respectively, for...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally.
Soundstage 19 is almost never used. It hadn't been used, so it was used for HHN 26. It hadn't been used since like HHN 19 before that. So
wow.
Okay.
It'd have been a long time. That's not a commonly used soundstage. Last year they were using it to film TNT, I think, the wrestling stuff. So
right.
I don't know if that one's gonna. I don't know. Honestly, all the sound stages blur together for me. I really don't care. If something is in sound stages, I know the general area it's gonna be in, and I don't know why people care so much beyond that. I think what's far more interesting is knowing what goes in what tent and what ends up in the parade building, and what ends up in Shrek. Speaking of which,
I would like to say, really fast. I think the Men in Black tent has been removed.
Really?
Because, yeah, I think I read that on Nightmares. People have been saying that it's gone and that
the area is still there.
Okay. I heard ops every house that's been in there sucked, so they tore it down or something.
There's only been two houses there. And it's okay, so I know you're not as familiar with the area. It's literally the extended queue line for Men in Black. Like they take out all of the stanchions and all the chains and they just put the tent there. So in theory, they could put the tent somewhere else, but I don't think the houses being shitty has anything to do with the location.
It really doesn't. Really,
that doesn't make any sense because there have been really shitty soundstage houses, and yet they're pretty much always heralded as good, which is just inaccurate. I mean, there have been terrible soundstage houses,
of course.
But whoever's saying that, I think they're full of shit because that's an excellent location for a house. It's very easy for people to find.
Well, the only thing I know that people had trouble with was when Bill and Ted was over there. It would be hard to navigate or whatever. But also,
serious
because Patsy Pruitt, it's fine, you guys.
Yeah, so you can during Bill and Ted. Okay, so during a Bill and Ted show, it was fine. It was when Bill and Ted was letting out, they would put a fence up, so you couldn't go straight from Bill and Ted to Blumhouse. But it wasn't even that complicated. I don't know if you remember this, Randy, but there's a bridge that walks that connects Diagon Alley to Krusty Land.
Yeah. I'm aware of it. I haven't been since Diagon Alley got put in.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. So you would not know about this bridge.
It's really close though.
Anyone who knows what we're talking about, there's a bridge there that you can take to get to Blumhouse. Basically, you just had to bypass the Bill and Ted Stadium because they didn't want people pouring out of Bill and Ted to all pour straight into the Blumhouse queue. So they just rerouted it. So it wasn't even that bad. And people who threw a fit about it were ridiculous because it was barely a detour and it was for a good reason. So I actually hope they don't get rid of that location. I'm very fond of that as a tent location. The other two tents are a bit of a trek to get to. That one is right there. It's like some of the houses you have to walk a goddamn half marathon to get to.
Right.
That one is super
So,
easy to get to.
Always some of the best originals for me, at least back in Kid Zone. Like that year that Dollhouse and Roanoke were back there.
Yeah,
was like a great double feature kind of thing for me. But it takes forever to get back to Kid Zone, so it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, even like doing Hive and Scarecrow back to back was totally possible because the entrances are right next to each other. But leaving them, having to walk all the way back the exit, I mean, that's like a 5-minute walk.
It was a good trek.
We're not even talking about the fucking parade building. That literally was like a half marathon to get there.
Yeah, well, and all the time you have to stand in line after you get there is like even worse. It's like,
yeah,
and I mean,
if there's lines.
It was worse with Tomb of the Ancients, where you'd enter over by SpongeBob building.
SpongeBob, yeah.
And then you would exit over on My Men in Black.
That was annoying. I hate when the entrances and exits are so far apart. I think that's really inconvenient and makes it hard to play.
Yeah, how can I just keep going on the same thing over and over again if I have to walk through Krusty Land every time?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the logistics of everything. I mean, obviously they have to put so much thought into it, but it's so complicated every year depending on what goes into the houses. So
yeah.
And also a big shout out to all the ops people who do their best to get everybody going where they need to be going.
Yeah. This way.
You guys have stops. Okay, anything else? I'm trying to think here.
About
anything
about
all I
Trick or Treat? Yeah, I think
anything at all. I mean, honestly, I know we said this was going to be short and sweet, but just want to make sure we get everything in there.
Yeah. My audition is in 2 days. #thoughts and prayers.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah,
I'm sending all of my vibes at your body.
Yeah.
I can feel them. It feels good.
Yeah. Still, if you want to run through the trailer for Trick or Treat was,
It
wasn't bad.
It wasn't great. It was no Stranger Things.
No.
Or even Dead Exposure, really.
Yeah, the Dead Exposure one was really nice. I'm pretty sure most of that was stock footage, but it was still really good.
That's fine. It was just with Trick or Treat, it's just stuff that we've seen before and recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and it was like edited on Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah. It wasn't as nearly as nicely put together as the other two, but honestly, that they made a nice little trailer for it at all is still progress. So, like, comparatively to, like, I remember when they announced, like, the originals for 26, it was Ghost Town. Like, the little trailers for the originals were disappointing as fuck, so.
Yeah, the ones last year were good, though, because they actually showed a lot of pieces of the house.
Yeah, but the ones for 26 were, like, moving images. Like, they weren't even, like,
they were just, like, close-ups.
Right. With some spooky music and a little bit of strobe.
Spooples.
Yeah.
So looking forward. I the lineup so far is very appealing to me.
Honestly, same, and it's got a good breadth of genre.
Yeah,
like nothing seems very similar.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which I know some people like because they like when things are all thematically linked, but I don't know. I mean, if we're gonna not have an overarching theme, we may as well have ultimate variety.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Like
my pussy with an HHN, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other plugs before we go?
Come to Dare to Escape Kissimmee, and I'll lock you in a room.
Well, can you promise me you will lock me in a room?
Will I die though?
Will you die? Yes. If I'm your game master, yes.
I mean, no. I don't even have a joke one this time. I'm just
wow.
Sleepy.
You just are the joke.
I'm the joke.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. For the people who aren't here, obviously Shelby Dunham couldn't join us tonight. She will be at MegaCon, and please go support her Patreon and her art. It's amazing. What else? She
does wonderful commissions as well as her prints. So
yeah,
and she's doing live streams more often right now.
Live streams, Patreon. Let's just plug Shelby more than anything else that the rest of us do.
Right. And Darcy, her photography is at Shoot the Bats on Instagram. She's posting mostly Disney right now, but I know she's been meaning to get over to Universal and take some pictures. And you can follow her on all social media at Torch the Bats.
Yes, ma'am. Mel's dying for me.
I'm on Twitter. I'm just Connie Wayne. On Instagram, I'm Con LaConCon, but I'm not going to tell you how to spell that. Just guess.
It's more simple than you think, though.
You can follow me at LuckBeALady21 on Twitter. I guess people really love guys and dolls because there's a lot of LuckBeALady pun names out there. What else? I run a Tumblr full of Horror Nights. It's mostly things I make, so it's not a lot of. It's like a lot of like gifs and things and stuff like that. I'm not on it as much as I am on the tweeters these days, but that's just because I don't know. I don't use Tumblr so much.
Yeah, my Tumblr usage dropped dramatically when I got into Twitter.
Yeah. People are just more active in this community, specifically on Twitter, so.
Agree. The Horror Nights fan base on Tumblr is borderline non-existent, and what is there is fucking weird.
True.
It could be weird, though.
Who really want to fuck the director.
But hey,
because I am an almost 22-year-old who wants to fuck the director, and I need people my own age to relate to these bizarre sexual fantasies about.
Right.
I can't relate to 14-year-old sexual fantasies. That's too uncomfortable.
It is really weird.
Yeah.
Level up.
Level up. They want to have sex with him. I want him to kill me.
It's different when you're older.
We'll all reach that eventually.
I mean, right now would be great if he's available.
Excuse me, let me just ask him real quick. Apollo, are you available right now?
Are you available for just a real quick murder? Real quick.
Very fast.
We'll make it a fast one. Just quick, kill, done.
Kill, done.
You can watch a couple of McConaughey episodes where me and my roommate watch Matthew McConaughey movies that I hate and she loves on Facebook. And if you find some straight ale beer in your grocery store, please buy it because they send my paychecks. So I work for them.
There you go.
Straight ale.
Everybody, real quick, everyone subscribe to that cool YouTube channel, Mistresses of Mayhem, and follow us on Twitter.
Yeah. Let's plug our own podcast at the end of the podcast.
On the podcast.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, we record whenever. I don't know.
We record, we have a bunch of back cataloged episode ideas that we're going to get to eventually. But we just keep the announcements.
We guaranteed are going to record whenever things are announced. Other than that,
yes.
You know what? You're going to be surprised.
I mean, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I think that's how that phrase goes. So,
sure, yeah, but the thing is, we're not a good thing. We suck. So.
Oh, my life's work is ruined.
Girl, if this no life's work, you better reevaluate.
Oh, I know.
I'm just kidding.
No, you could.
I think what we do is pretty groovy. I just wish. I think we should add a video element at some point.
Yes, we're always looking for ways to improve. Like, if y'all want to give us any feedback, and then not doing them, but if you guys want to give us feedback, it's always welcome. I've been trying for at least a year to find a way to get us a feed so you can listen to us on iTunes and stuff like that. I just never happens.
Something like that, or I don't know. I mean, we got ideas. I'm interested in the idea of vlogging. We could very well start doing vlogs and put them on this channel too.
Yeah,
true. I don't see why not. I've been looking for a venue to do that through, and this is already established. And
I've actually been thinking about doing. I have a couple of kind of horror related, almost video essays that I've been meaning to put out for a really long time. So yeah, maybe we'll start doing solo content.
I would be more than happy to film small construction updates as Horror Night starts to kick in. So
yeah.
Are we gonna be #updaters?
Oh, please don't call us updaters.
No, we're never updaters. But I do have some spicy takes.
Ooh, we do love spicy takes here.
I got some ghost pepper takes on HHN when the time comes.
Those Mexican peppers I've been putting on beer nachos all week.
Okay. No. Well, let's stop planning on the air.
Yeah. I was saying these things for feedback. If anyone likes these ideas, feel free.
Please let us know.
Whatever. Yeah, we're always looking to do new things. Mostly, if people want to consume them, I'll probably do it anyway. Just like my drag, nobody wants to watch, but I'm going to keep doing it.
Aw, we watched.
We like it.
No, I'm just kidding. I get a huge crowd every time, but whatever.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I think we're gonna sign off for the evening before we all just joke.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.